Hello everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today I will be talking about the Saw movies. Now, fun fact about these films is I am not a big fan of most of them, but I still want to do the review because I want to talk about Spiral and Jigsaw. Um, and I wanted to just go ahead and give you my ratings and how I feel about the other Saw movies, and I will also be very, very briefly explaining the plot to each of them. Um, this I have only goes to uh, 1 through the final chapter with Jigsaw. So I don't have a physical copy for Spiral and 10. All right, so let's start off with Saw 1. Um, Basically, it's the one everyone knows. The two dudes in the one room. They have to solve puzzles. The leg gets chopped off, and big twist, dead body's not dead, and uh, movie ends with the character being locked up. Uh, 2.5 out of 4 stars. Saw 2, this one noticeably has more people. Starts off with a gas-filled house, and I think they also go through various different puzzles and trials, and I believe this one has the infamous needle pit, maybe. I don't know. Didn't really personally enjoy this one much. The ending, turns out that everything was pre-recorded. One of the main guys is fine, but it turns out one of the people with them was the Jigsaw's apprentice, and locks up one of the other people. One of the people in the end. Pretty sure. Yeah, this one was. I like this one. Um, 2 out of 4. Saw 3 starts off with a new character and another famous trap is involved with this character with a shotgun. Um, I believe this one is the one where he has to forgive his son's killers. Um, and the ending to this movie is really important for Saw 4, which I will explain really soon. Now it's time for Saw 4, my least favorite. Um, this is more of a lore movie, and um, it just kind of focuses on that the entire time. It happens at the same time, like as 3, like it's taking place during the same time. And the ending shows this with everyone already being dead and the main character being too late. Saw 3 is a 2 out of 4, and Saw 4 is a 1.5 out of 4. Now it's time for Saw 5. This one is after the events of 4, so none of that during stuff. Um, it's about these two detectives, and they kind of go over what's happened in the past with the jigsaw traps, and they kind of try to uncover it. And they just do more detective stuff. Suspicion grows upon one of them, and in the end, it turns out that this suspicion was correct, and this guy kills the other detective. I saw 5 is a 2 out of 4. Okay, so now it's time for Saw 6, my second least favorite. This one follows an insurance worker that picks his money over need for a client, and then um, he is captured by the new apprentice of Jigsaw. Um, and during this, the FBI is working on the Jigsaw cases, and and they find the detective from the last film that we had suspicion of, and they find out that he's guilty. Um, Saw 6, also 1.5 out of 4. Now it's time for Saw 7, known as Saw 3D or the Final Chapter. Um, this one continues 6 with someone saying that he was a survivor of one of the past Saw happenings. Uh, and then it goes to him being in a real trap of his by the apprentice. This said apprentice does a lot to save his name, and in the end, it's he ends up getting locked up from the same room from the first Saw. I'm pretty sure. By yet another one of Saw's apprentices, and yeah, Saw the Final Chapter. Um, I'll give that. I like that as much as the first Saw. 2.5 out of 4. Now it's time for Jigsaw, my second favorite one in the series. This one's kind of like Saw, the other ones where it's group of people, they're bad people, and yes, it's just the older Saws, but better in every way. I suggest you watch it. The killings are of a new apprentice. Yeah, I really like this one. 3 out of 4 stars. Now, for my favorite one, the series is Spiral. Um, this movie follows new detectives and a new group of people, and through their investigations and leads, it takes them into a saw traps where they gotta undo the saw traps. This is a completely new person entirely, sort of a new apprentice, but he doesn't take up the old Jigsaw's code entirely, but is still driven by revenge anyways. End of the movie, one of the main characters has to choose to do a thing, and the SWAT team gets involved and mistakes him for the real killer, while the actual killer escapes, I believe. Now it's time for Saw 10. This one takes place, I'm pretty sure it takes place in the past. We find out that the original Jigsaw has, I think he finds out he has cancer. And he finds these people that can give him a treatment. Turns out that's fake, and then he sets up the first traps. Finds one of his original apprentices, and they help. She helps him. And the movie ends with an ending that doesn't really change the future. I mean, the past movie. So like this movie is kind of just a setup for one big thing that didn't really turn out to be really great. This movie is a I'll give this movie a 2 out of 4. That's all 10. Now I'm gonna combine the scores and give you the final one for what I give the Saw franchise. Okay, so I ran the numbers and the final one was a 2.2 out of 4, but I don't like doing point twos. So the overall series gets 2 out of 4 stars, which isn't particularly bad for a series. I didn't really like many of these films. I don't really find myself much being like, oh, I want to watch Saw. But I do find I sometimes find myself saying, hey, I want to watch Spiral. But even then, I don't know if that's a direct Saw movie or not. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. I don't know. I never really bothered to look it up. Probably because I never wanted to compare it to its other connected movies. But yeah, those are the Saw movies. Same this in the same day for today. You guys will be getting Bindi Part 5, Job Simulator Part 4, and Episode 1 of a new series. I believe that's all I got for you guys. Like and subscribe if you may, and have a good day.